Hey, this is Chris, but my friends call me Stones. Thanks for checking out my channel, and thanks for checking out my latest video. I have to be honest, I recorded a video on Thursday after coming back from yard sales and garage sales, and I didn't post it. And then I came back and recorded a video on Friday after going to yard sales and garage sales, and I didn't post it. And I'm kind of glad that I did. I kind of felt they were lackluster, and I was just recording a video to record a video and to put something up on YouTube. But I'm glad I kind of waited because Saturday, today, ended up being my best day out of the 3 days of going to yard sales and garage sales, which that doesn't happen often for me because now that I'm a full-time reseller, I'm able to drive around all day Thursday and all day Friday and knock out all those yard sales that possibly would happen on Saturday as well. So there's nothing left for me to look for most of the time. There might be a handful of yard sales for me to still go to on Saturday, either because they started on Saturday or because I somehow missed them. Back when I worked full-time for an insurance company, I wasn't able to drive around all day Thursday and Friday unless I took those days off. So there was quite a bit out there for me to go to on Saturday. And now it's flipped for me. But for some reason, there was a lot of sales that started on Saturday, started today. So there was a lot more for me to go to, and there was a lot more for me to buy, and I bought a lot. So what I'm doing is I'm showing you the highlights from Thursday and Friday, and there's a few. There's actually one item there that I turned around, I flipped around because I want to reveal that later that I'm very excited about. But starting on Thursday, I picked up this Prodigy P2 braking system for a trailer. I paid $4 for that, and these sell all day for $100 a piece. I also picked up this Zebco Rhino Tough 33 model fishing lure or fishing reel, and when I originally scanned this, there was listings for anywhere from $30 to $50 on eBay. I paid $10 for it, but then when I came home, and I already listed this, but when I came home and did more research on it, it seemed like all the ones that are in this specific packaging, so when you scan the barcode, you'll see like 3 or 4 different types of packaging for the specific model. But it seems like the one that's in this specific packaging is more desirable and goes for more like $70 to $75. So I listed mine for $75, and I already have at least 3 watchers on it, and it's been up for less than 48 hours. Then I went to this rummage sale that actually didn't start until Thursday evening at 6 o'clock. Now, some of the bigger events, what I call them around here, like the church rummage sales and the bigger community sales, they'll start on Thursday evening, and they'll start at 6 and they'll run for a couple of hours, and then they'll start and do the normal hours on Friday and Saturday, starting at like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or whatever. So I went to this church rummage. It wasn't a church rummage sale. It was a rummage sale that was held at a tiny church on the outskirts of town, and they were raising money for the high school band. So it was the band boosters. So I paid $1 a piece for these hats, and I thought they were interesting. I'm not a hat guy. I'm not a hat expert. I've had some luck with some hats in the past. But these were $1 a piece, and this Corduroy Cleveland Browns hat was really interesting. It's vintage for sure, and it's made by the Drew Pearson Headwear Company. And if you look this up, all the corduroy hats that they made for football teams go anywhere from $30 to as much as $100 depending on the team. Now, I took a guess on this one because I could not find any sales for Cleveland Browns hat. So I'm going to list it probably like for $50 or so and see if I can get that. And this hat, vintage hat was interesting as well. It is a wool hat. It's fitted, and it's made by the Harvard Sports Headwear Company. And the very few that are on eBay have sold for like $40 or $50. So I paid $1 a piece for those. And then these cameras, what ended up happening is when I was there, I heard the people that were working the sale, they were saying, yeah, we have a lot more stuff. We didn't have enough time to get it all out here tonight. So there should be more stuff here tomorrow. So I went back on Friday morning, and sure enough, they had more stuff. And I bought some things, including these cameras. These are, I paid $10 a piece, and I've talked about these before. So the video cameras that kind of look like a gun scope can do really well. Now, I don't know why someone had two of these, because it's the same model camera, it's the same bag, it's the same accessories, but this is the Panasonic HC V100M, and if these work, they'll sell for about 50 bucks a piece. And then I ended up at this community sale on, I think this was on Friday, and it was kind of cool because it was a cul-de-sac, and almost every house in that cul-de-sac was participating in this community sale. And I bought a little here and I bought a little there. And then I walked up to this kind of older lady's table, and she only had a couple tables out of stuff. And I bought this. I found this. This is an autographed picture of the actor who played the original Chewbacca. If you don't know, his name is Peter Mayhew, and he's dead now. He's gone. He had some health complications. From what I understand, his health complication had to do with his size, kind of like Andre the Giant, similar situation. But this is an authentic autograph, and because that Star Wars sticker in the corner is something these actors would put on their photos to authenticate them. And this lady wanted only $3 for this. She said she didn't know where she got it or something to that effect, and she only wanted $3. So I'm really, really glad that I got this because I'm a big fan. And of course, the actor is gone, so there's no way that I can personally get it myself. Now, here's a fun fact. I get a lot of autographs. I have a lot of autographed things, but I do not pay for autographs. And what I mean by that is I just won't buy something on the internet that's autographed by somebody. Or I won't go into one of those stores in the mall and buy something that's autographed. Because personally, I like meeting the person. I like the experience of being able to walk up to them, shake their hand, tell them that I appreciate their work, that I'm a fan. And then the autograph is just kind of the icing on the cake. So I'll pay for that experience, but I don't pay for the autograph in itself, if that makes sense. But this is an exception because this is a bigger, very iconic character, and he's passed away. So there's no opportunity for me to experience that. Then coming on Saturday, so I kind of put things out of order just to make things more interesting. So I went to this, there's a local hunting club that has a sale every year for some children's program that they do to raise money. And I bought this fish finder. They originally wanted $25 for it, and they were at that point of the sale they were taking offers. So I offered them $20. They took it. It's a Garmin 740S. I looked this up, and these things minimum sell for $200 and upwards of $400. So I'll see what I can get for that. One of the last sales that I went to was an estate sale run by the family, which seems like I'm seeing a lot of that lately. And the house was up for sale. This guy, I guess, he lived in this house until he was 99 years old. This guy was a collector. He had so much stuff, it was almost overwhelming, but it was a lot of stuff that I was not interested in. And there's probably some resale stuff, maybe. It's just stuff that I wasn't really interested in. And I thought I was going to walk out empty-handed until I walked back out into the driveway again. They had stuff in the driveway, a lot of stuff in the house. And I took a second look, and I found this stuff. This was in the quarter box. These are sunshades for your car. Now, they look like sunshades, but these are licensed by the Ghostbusters and California Raisins. Now, these are vintage. These aren't like later on. These were put out when in the 80s when this stuff came out. And these things right now, I looked up the Ghostbuster one. There's 3 active listings for anywhere from $40 to $50 a piece. So I didn't look up the California Raisin one, and I just noticed that one set has a missing suction cup. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Maybe I'll go back to the sale. Maybe I'll go to the hardware store and try to find a suction cup or something. But we're looking at a couple $100 just right there, and they only wanted $0.25 a piece for these. And then I picked up this just because I thought it looked cool. But this is an Electrolux old vacuum cleaner. and they sold it to me for $2 because they didn't know where the power cord was. They didn't know where the hoses were, and so they sold it to me for $2, and that's just cool. I tried looking it up. I couldn't find this model, this earlier model, but I'm sure this thing's worth some money because Electrolux is worth money. Even if it doesn't work, it's a cool piece. Okay, then here's the sale that this was a good sale. This is what excited me. So this is actually the first sale that I went to this morning. Now, what I do is I go to the gym very early in the morning, like at an ungodly hour. And starting on Thursdays, I start driving a path that takes me down the main roads all the way to this gym, which is 2 towns over. And that allows me to see all the crossroads and to see if there's any signs for yard sales and garage sales that have already been posted. Now, the funny thing about this yard sale is they had signs up probably as early as Monday night, because I saw these signs on Tuesday morning on my way to the gym. And I thought, well, they must have put their signs up early for Thursday, because some of the yard sales and garage sales around here start as early as Thursday. So I'm thinking it must be a Thursday's garage sale. So when I went and looked at the details of the sale on the sign, it said it didn't start till Saturday. But it started at 8 o'clock. So I went to the gym this morning, and the first sale that I hit on my way home from the gym was the sale. And I got there at 8:15, but he still wasn't ready yet. He was still pulling stuff out. So I was buying a bunch of stuff from him, and then I eventually left, said, hey, I'll be back later, went home, changed, took a shower, came back and bought more stuff. Now I spent a total of, I think it was $58 from him, maybe 60 on all this stuff. So what he was doing is he bought his childhood home from his parents, and he was converting the attic into his home office, and all his childhood stuff was still in there. So he was dragging it all out to get rid of it just to make room for this office. Now, the first thing that I bought was these Wolf Creek book bags. These are all brand new with tags. Now, I originally noticed, I found out later on, these aren't the same design. There's ones that are like mustard colored, then there's ones with mustard color but with red pockets, and then there's ones that are all red. So there's all sorts of designs. I thought this was going to be an easy one listing, but it's not. And when I looked these up, these are vintage. If you look up, these are Wolf Creek, but made by JanSport. So it's like a division of JanSport that used to exist that doesn't exist anymore. Paid $1 a piece for these book bags, and the only Wolf Creek JanSport book bags currently on eBay are listed between $35 and $50 a piece. I picked up these Power Ranger coloring books. One of them they colored in, but the other one they didn't. And I collect all things Power Rangers. And there's my buddy right there, Alpha 5. And if you know anything about me and Alpha 5, you'll understand why I wanted this. But pretty cool. I picked up this vintage roll of Dragon Ball Z gift wrap, and I couldn't find that on eBay as well. So who knows what that might be worth. I paid $5 for these Nike shoes, and they're Nike Trainer 1s. And I looked these up on eBay, and they're start used condition at $100. I got this jacket, this cool Champion USA Olympic jacket from Atlanta. This sells on eBay between $35 and $50, but it's my size, so it might be a personal keep. And then I bought all these Goosebumps books. He had tons and tons of books, like literally 3 tables of children's books. And I grabbed all the Goosebumps. He only wanted 10 cents a book. I think I ended up paying $5 for all these. I think I counted there's just over 30. And then there's these 2 hardcovers that's in there as well. I have 5 from other yard sales. So I'm going to lot these all up together. And I think I can easily get $150 for the whole collection. He also had these My First Craftsman toolkits, toy tools for children. These are technically vintage. They're made in 2002. I could not find these on eBay when I zapped the barcode. None of them came up. There was none that were sold. But when I did a word search for My First Craftsman toolkits, there was a bunch of stuff that came up. And the difference was those were all made in 2003, so 1 year later. So I'm thinking these are rare. I'm thinking for the smaller kit, I'm going to try to get like $30 to $40 for it. And the bigger kit, maybe upwards of $60 is what I'm thinking. Got this train thing. I still have to deal with all the train stuff that I bought at past sales. And then here's all this. Couple video game stuff. There's a PlayStation cable that I need for a PlayStation 3 that I just got at the recycling event. There's a PlayStation 2 controller. I always need those. There's a Wii base for the console. But he pulled this whole big gym bag full of video games. It's nothing but Wii and PlayStation 2, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Xbox 360 as well. This thing is jam-packed full, and he only wanted $40 for the whole bag. Now, there's a lot of missing games in here. We started going through there because originally he was going to figure out how many he had, but we were finding a lot of empty cases. Now, there's a lot of them that still had the game in there as well, but he only wanted $40 for this whole bag, and I bought it. There has to be at least 100 games in there. I'll do an update on that. So there you go. This is my weekend of yard sales and garage sales. Thanks for checking out, and thanks for subscribing, and we'll talk to you soon.